If you want to shine like the sun, first learn to burn like it. With this quote by Kalam Sahab, honorable dignitaries, respected guests, esteemed faculty members and dear students, a very warm welcome to all for the 6th Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Oration. I request Dr. Sarika to escort to the dais Professor Dinesh Badial, Director, Famer Institute Christian Medical College, Ludhiana, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sonia Nityanand, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Vineet Sharma, Dean Academics, Professor Amita Jain, Founder Head Medical Education, Professor Shaili Avasthi, Head Medical Education, Professor Amita Pandey, and Convener ACME KGMU, Professor Vimla Venkatesh. Thank you. मैंने कहा फूलों से हंसो तो वो खिलखिला के हंस दिए और कहा जीवन है भाई मेरे भाई हंसने के लिए. It is our pleasure to give a floral welcome to the dignitaries of today's function, to our orator for the function, Professor Dinesh Badial. To Honorable Vice Chancellor, ma'am. To Pro-Vice Chancellor, sir. To Dean Academics, Professor Amita Jain. To Professor Shaili Avasthi. Professor Amita Pandey. Professor Vimla Venkatesh. Thank you. We begin today's function by praying to the Paramatma, the eternal spirit, that this oration is successful in its objective of spreading knowledge and making all of us better professionals and humans. It is time for the Deepdan and the Saraswati Vandana. Thank you, ma'am and sir. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam was born on October 15, 1931 and passed away on July 27, 2015, not in a hospital, but while at work, making a speech. He was the darling of children and youth whom he loved back equally and inspired to become better humans and Indians to an extent which few people have through the centuries. A patriot of the highest quality, a spiritual guide learned in all religious scriptures, who practiced and advanced the philosophy of Make in India more than half a century back. The 11th president of our country, he played a leading role in the development of India's missile and nuclear weapons program, earning him the nickname of Missile Man. He was awarded two of the country's highest honors, the Padma Vibhushan and the Bharat Ratna. May I request the very active, enthusiastic, and energetic head of Medical Education Department, KGMU, Professor Amita Pandey, to welcome all to the 6th KGMU Oration in memory of the great Dr. Kalam.
Thank you, Soumendra. Professor Sonia Nityanand, Honorable Vice Chancellor, King George's Medical University, Professor Dinesh Badyal, the guest orator for today's function, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Vineet Sharma sir, Dean Academics, Professor Amita Jain ma'am, Founder Head of Medical Education at KGMU, Professor Shaili Avasthi ma'am, my senior teachers present in the audience, esteemed faculty members, and dear students, a very good morning and a warm welcome to you all in this prestigious oration. The Department of Medical Education, King George's Medical University, has been organizing the A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Memorial Oration for the past 5 years. And we do it in the month of October to celebrate the birth anniversary and to pay homage to our legendary and iconic president, Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, whose birthday happens to be on 15th October, as Soumendra has just mentioned. For this oration, an eminent scholar from the field of medical education is usually invited to share his vision in some pertinent aspect of medical education and to sensitize our faculty about modern concepts in medical teaching, learning, and assessment. Today, we are honored and privileged to have Dr. Dinesh Badyal with us, who is an authority in the field of medical education. And he would be delivering the coveted and the prestigious Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Memorial Oration. Sir, we are indeed very grateful to you for accepting our request. And on behalf of King George's Medical University, I welcome you. We are all eagerly looking forward to your enlightening talk.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Professor Shaili Avasthi, Founder Head, Department of Medical Education, under whose aegis the first Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Oration was held, has an amazing record in multiple and diverse fields. Her knowledge, intellect, capabilities, and skills are unique and nearly unsurpassable. She has made the Medical Education Department of KGMU the strong tree it is from a mere seed. May I request her to bless us?
Honorable Vice Chancellor of King George Medical University, Dr. Sonia Nityanand, Professor Vineet Sharma, Pro Vice Chancellor of King George Medical University, Professor Amita Jain, Dean Academics, our speaker for the day, Professor Dinesh Badyal from CMC Ludhiana, Dr. Vimla Venkatesh, Convener of Medical Education and Head of Medical Education, Professor Amita Pandey. Members of the faculty, dear students, and my teachers who are present here and who have graced the occasion. I would really like to sincerely thank the University and Department of Medical Education for inviting me to be a part of the 6th Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Oration. First, I would like to pay my tributes to late Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, a visionary, a man par excellence who we remember everywhere. I had the unique honor or privilege of meeting him thrice. Twice in King George Medical University, once when he was the President of India for our convocation, once in Research Showcase when he was invited, and once, perhaps twice, in Raj Bhavan in New Delhi. The impression he leaves in your mind is so vivid that it is amazing and you can't forget it. And this person is such a down-to-earth human being, he was, that he continued his communication on email with me when he was alive and through his office. You know, there are times when we use the words enlightened, we use the word enlightening, enlightened minds, wings of fire. All these words were frequently used by him. His book also had this enlightened minds, wings of fire. It's a very happy occasion for me to see that the topic of this oration is igniting minds with CBME curriculum, a very Kalamian way of writing the title. And I think Dr. Badial gets the credit of choosing this topic. So with this, Dr. Kalam and his ideology lives on, and we will hopefully unleash the power of medical education in this country, not only for improving our education, but for helping the society and for becoming innovators and researchers par excellence. Today, Dr. Badial is giving this oration. Dr. Badial has been my facilitator. You can say my teacher. When I did my CBME advanced course from CMC Ludhiana, I was the first batch who went there because we had to start the unit here. I think it was 2014, sir. 2014, years ago. And he came again when we had a workshop on CBME and recently when we had a SDL workshop. I won't take any further time, but I end with a quote from Dr. Kalam, as applicable to CBME, as applicable to today's lecture. So pay attention to what he says and you'll understand why I picked up this quote. You cannot change your future, but you can change your habits. And surely your habits / teaching, learning, facilitation habits will change your future and future of the country. Thanks again for inviting me. Best wishes for the oration and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dean Academics KGMU, Professor A.P.J, is adept at playing multiple roles successfully. She has achieved pinnacles of fame in research, academics, and the service of mankind. We request ma'am to inspire us with a few words.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sonia, our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Vineet Sharma, Orator of the Day and our guest, Dr. Badial, Professor Shelly Avasthi, Dr. Amita Pandey, Professor Vimla Venkatesh, illuminous faculty of King George's Medical University, and my teacher also, Professor Vinita and Dr. Sharma. Above all, dear students, good morning and welcome to all. Dr. Kalam is a very big name. He was not only the President of India, he was a thinker, innovator, he was scientist, and above all, he was a teacher. So to mark his birth anniversary, there cannot be a better topic than igniting minds. Competency-based medical education is our new pattern of educating our medical graduates, both under and postgraduate students. And to deliver a talk on this, we cannot have a better speaker than Dr. Dinesh Badial. As Professor Shelley has already said, his association with medical education, with Department of Medical Education, and with KGMU has been longer than a decade. So on behalf of KGMU, sir, we welcome you all here. And I'm sure that you all are going to enjoy the treat which he's going to offer you in form of his lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Pro Vice Chancellor KGMU, Professor Vineet Sharma, is the go-to person for proper advice and guidance whenever there is any trouble. An excellent administrator, he has stood by his alma mater staunchly through its highs and lows. We request sir to encourage us with his address.
Thank you, Somin. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nityanand, our guest and orator for the day, Professor Dinesh, Professor Shelly Avasthi, my junior, and who has carried this medical education to great heights, Professor Amita Jain, Amita Pandey, who has taken over this role and doing wonderfully well, and our friend and colleague, my teachers, Professor P.K. Sharma, Dr. Vinita Singh, Pradeep Tandon, heads of the departments, my dear faculty, ladies and gentlemen. I have also had the privilege to meet Professor A.P.J. Abdul Kalam twice. And indeed, a wonderful man par excellence, who's remembered all over the world for the fact that he not only developed India to great heights, but also took the nuclear program of our country to great heights. Competency-based medical education, for the past, 9 or 10 years, it's been on the roll. In fact, I'm still confused with many questions and queries. And I'm sure Professor Dinesh, with this topic, will be able to clear, especially our faculty's mind and ignite their minds to bring this medical education in undergraduate and postgraduate to the logical end that NMC wants us with. Thank you very much. I congratulate the Department of Medical Education and Professor Amita for this wonderful opportunity to be given to you all.
Thank you, sir, for the excellent words. Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Sonia Nityanand has shown that no stone will be left unturned in the service of each and every member of this great educational institutions of UP and India. She has set a high example for each of us through her actions. May I request ma'am to share her words of wisdom?
Thank you for that introduction. So Professor Vineet Sharma, the Pro VC of the university. Today's orator, Dr. Dinesh Badial. Dr. Amita Jain, Dean Academics. And the three pillars for medical education in this university, Professor Shelly Avasthi, Professor Amita Pandey, and Professor Vimla Venkatesh. All the esteemed faculty members in the audience, my teachers, Professor Vinita Singh and Professor Sharma, all the students and participants. First of all, on the behalf of the university, a very warm welcome to one of the most significant functions of the university, which is the 6th Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam Memorial Oration on Innovations in Medical Education. At the outset, I would like to pay respects to the departed noble soul, about whom I know a lot, because he was from the era of my father, and my father was very much associated with him. In fact, they studied together for some time in Cambridge. And I would just like to say two things about him, that he breathed science and he was very fond of students. That was his life, science and students. Of course, apart from his charismatic personality, that you are automatically drawn towards him. A born nationalist. You know, that generation has gone now. They were so selfless when it came to the nation. I mean, they really treasured the nation because they've been born in India, which was not free. And then they've come to a point where India is free and wanted to do what they could to build the nation. And he built the nation in terms of science, pure science. We could not have had a better person to deliver the oration today than Dr. Dinesh Badial. He is a professor of pharmacology and a very good pharmacologist, I would say, because we got the opportunity to hear him a few months back when he had come for the pharmacovigilance program in RML-IMS. But he's also the professor of the Department of Medical Education and the Christian Medical College, Ludhiana, Foundation for Advancement of International Medical Education and Research, FAMER, the CMCL FAMER Regional Institute. He is the program director. You know, FAMER has regional institutes for the advancement of international medical education all over the world. And in CMC Ludhiana, he's been able to get this regional institute and he heads it. He's also the national convener of the National Medical Commission Advanced Course in Medical Education and the convener of the National Medical Council Nodal Center for Faculty Development and a member of the NMC Task Force Implementation of Complementary Based UG Curriculum. So we are really looking forward to your oration on igniting minds in the CBME curriculum, the challenges and the way forward. And I'm very happy to see that the medical students here are attending today to listen to this oration, because this will help them to grow in the field of medical education the most. So we look forward to the oration, and again, a very warm welcome to everyone who's come for this oration today. Thank you.
Thank you for the excellent message, ma'am. I now request Professor Amita Pandey to introduce our accomplished, articulate, and acclaimed orator for today.
It's an honor for me to introduce our esteemed orator, Professor Dinesh Kumar Badyal, Vice Principal Medical Education, Professor and Convener, Department of Medical Education, and Professor and Head of Pharmacology at Christian Medical College, Ludhiana. A versatile personality, Sir is also the Director of CMC Ludhiana FAMER Regional Institute, Convener NMC Nodal Center, National Convener Advanced Course in Medical Education, and Member NMC National Curriculum Committee. Professor Badyal is a Master's in Health Profession Education from UK, FAMER Fellow from Philadelphia, has a Diploma in Clinical Research and a postgraduate diploma in bioethics and health law. He is particularly interested in training medical faculty and in teaching learning assessment, professionalism, ethics, and competency-based curriculum development. An avid researcher, Sir has published more than 150 papers, out of which more than 50 are related to medical education. He has been decorated with innumerable awards and fellowships, including those from Rector's Skill and Simulation Center, Jefferson University, Philadelphia, and International FAMER Fellowship, to name a few. And expert group convener in NMC, he has contributed significantly to the new competency-based UG and PG medical curriculum of India, which we are following today. And today he would be deliberating about igniting minds in CBME curriculum, challenges and way forward. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, ma'am. May I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor KGMU to present tokens of gratitude to Professor Dinesh Badyal for sparing his invaluable time and coming all the way to share his immense knowledge with us today.
तो है, यहाँ नहीं आ रहा। ठीक है।
Thank you so much. May we request the dignitaries on the dais to take their seats in front of the podium now, as the orator is getting ready for his lecture.
सर का लैपटॉप है ना, शेयर नहीं करने दे रहा। वो तो मेरे पे जा रही सर, तो मगर यहाँ पर है पीपीटी शेयरिंग नहीं करने दे रहा और सर की नहीं सर का कहना है एनिमेशन सर पीडीएफ। अच्छा ठीक है। और ये काट दो। आप खड़े सर हमने उसकी जरूरत नहीं कर आप सीधे आप बोल दीजिए बाकी सर का ही दे रहा
So very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I feel humbled to be invited, especially for the 6th Dr. A.P.J. Kalam Oration, which is awarded by Department of Medical Education, KGMU. I think for oration in medical education, this is the most appropriate thing. Dr. A.P.J. Kalam has the highest impact on our education system in the country, as well as on the students. As you have seen that most of the people, including Dr. Somendra, has used many taglines and quotes, and there are many numerous. So all the dignitaries, I'm very thankful to you for highlighting those components and also inviting me here. the entire team of KGMU, led ably by ma'am, and the three pillars and the roofs and the walls, all who have contributed to the success of that. As you know, KGMU is a legacy. And medical education we have been talking about. We have in this hall earlier also, sir, we were here once. We discussed a lot of things here. Especially this topic which we have chosen after thinking a lot about on this day, what we should actually do, which gels with that thought that in India, we need to unleash the power which we all have. 700 plus medical colleges, nowhere is near to us. I think the other country after this is 125. Okay, and this fact was recently highlighted when regulator got accreditation by the WFME, World Federation of Medical Education. They appreciated the efforts done by, in India, by all the people in medical education. That was the salient feature for the accreditation. So we are talking about the new curriculum, the trainings for a lot of time, lot of challenges. We have talked that already, 2019 batch. Now we are looking at further challenges. We have implemented it. What are the further challenges in that? So paying respect and tribute to Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, especially tomorrow is the World Students Day, which is celebrated every year on his birthday. Looking at the impact he has on all the students as well the teaching, irrespective of the stream. So these are the stakeholders. I'm happy to see that the students are maximum in number today. We call students end-use customers, what we designed. Remember, we implement on you only. Okay, so you are sort of end-use customers who tell us your feedback, aha moments, you liked or not liked. That is the situation we have come to openness about flexibility. You can see others also, faculty, which we are putting a lot of emphasis for training the faculty. Remember, if you see, a lot of resources are invested in that only. And then you see patients. We are assuming they will gel into this system, new system which is there. Institutes really administrative level, initially they were, because they do not go into nitty-gritties of as such the educational process. They look at the entire organizational concept, so that is there. Then the regulator and the government, which actually looks into that, because the new curriculum has come from the regulator, from that point of view. So we will see that what has happened till now and how we need to sustain now. We are not taking implementation challenges, that has happened. Now we are looking at in 2023, how we are going to sustain. Many people ask us when we go to different medical colleges, sir, new curriculum 2019, it's 23, it is not implemented well. We ask them, when was the last curriculum implemented? 1997. The next question we ask, in your college, is that has been implemented 100%? We don't get any percentage. It takes time. So it's a huge country, diverse situations we have. Okay, so it takes time. And remember that nobody is looking at 100% implementation. The new curriculum is not like that. We are looking at 100% implementation. We are looking at innovations, which actually is the theme of this oration, innovations in medical educations. Your series of, okay, so we are looking at what you can do more, share with other people, they also start using. So that way. So percentages, we need not look into that, but changing paradigms are there. The major group sitting here today, they might have Googled the way when the introduction was going on. What is all this about? Okay. So if we want to play fastest fingers, they are much ahead of us. So that is a changing paradigm. Okay. Student, land use customers, their demands are right now in very entirely different. They don't buy books. We as a teachers don't like them that they don't buy books. Okay, but we don't understand. We need to understand their perspective, why they don't buy books these days. Okay, they have PDFs, why they read that. So this changing paradigm is there. Technological advancement is there. We all use different technology, each of us. Some of us like to read on the screen, some like to read on the book. Okay, so those things are there now. Innovative methods. Many methods are there. Remember, in our medical colleges, each of you might have a unique methodology to teach in your own department, and also some of the unique methods you use for your patients. But somehow we are not sharing that. Otherwise, if we start sharing, just somebody has to collect all those things, put it together. We can have 700 unique methods for teaching, 700 unique methods to deal with the patients, even if we get one from each institute. But somehow we are not sharing. You might have seen many best teacher awards throughout the country in medical colleges. Nobody has published what we need to do. As a teacher need to do to become a best teacher. But we have best teacher award in every medical college. Somehow that innovations we need to take to ignite these minds which are evolving over time. So taking into a lot of these things which have come, you have seen that. Okay, 2009 it started that we needed a change. The question was asked in the parliament. The graduates coming out of this system are not doing well. They even don't know how to talk to the relatives. They say don't ask about talking to the patients or the skills. Okay, so that was the issue. So that's why the first module which came was the ATCOM, which you see here. Remember that all these modules, what you see, all the students and teachers implemented, they were designed in India, tested in Indian medical colleges. So ATCOM was pilot tested in 40 medical colleges. Okay, before that it was tested, then pilot tested properly, then it was implemented. So this way these things have gone up. And now recently you have some updates in the CBME for MBBS. And for all the postgraduates, CBME is mandatory from 2022 batch. So those things have been implemented already. But remember, we are talking today about, I'm taking these words from the book from which we have taken the title, Igniting Minds, Unleashing the Power Within India. 700 medical colleges, the methodologies, the techniques which we use. We need not correct that we don't have that methodology. We don't have access to those things. We have so many things. If we just want to use that, we won't be able to use that. Okay? And we need to customize, use it accordingly, make new things. So the whole thing, if you see now 10th class, their curriculum is now outcome based, which is competency based. So 8th and 10th class students are very well aware of what is internal assessment, which somehow, unfortunately, when we go to colleges, somehow we find even some of teachers are not very well aware what is internal assessment, how to do it. So remember, that is a part of the process. We need to ignite some of these minds. So minds are at two places right now. Today we see a lot of young minds here. Okay. We need to ignite them. Okay. They don't know the difference between the earlier curriculum and the traditional. For them, there's no difference. They have gone into one curriculum, which is there. Yeah, the challenge is on the other side. I also say we are also younger minds. Don't look at the age. CBME is just 4 years old. So we have a younger minds for igniting that also. We have seen that in the faculty. Okay, interactions which has happened, for example, during the integration sessions. We are talking to each other a lot now. Okay, so that has happened. So that is opening up these minds, igniting those minds. And when we have said a lot about Dr. A.P.J. Kalam, remember in our advanced course and other courses, okay, the students, you get Hippocratic Oath. Okay, and we have this Dr. A.P.J. Kalam's 10 oaths for the teachers in India, medical teachers. So all teachers during the convocation, teachers get degrees these days for teachers training courses. So their convocation, they undergo this oath. That's what we are following. Okay. So 10 oaths, they all go through. You will find there each one of those 2 lines are wonderful lines. So faculty ladder right now, which we are looking at the medical colleges are principal or oblique dean based on the different states. We have a curriculum committee who implement curriculum. Medical education unit, for example, here it is upgraded to Department of Medical Education because it is a nodal center now. HODs at a par in implementation in the entire process. Quality insurance now, already it is coming up. A lot of things are getting added to that. Topics team, other teams, all these teams are working in a ladder pattern. And most of the things are established now. People are diversifying those roles. It is not that only MEU or CC can implement the curriculum. It is the entire faculty in the college and the students who need to work together. So they should be part of one team or the other team. Otherwise, there will be too much load on MEU or CC or DOME, and they will have those pressures, and that will affect their subject specialties from which, because they are all part-time here. So when we talk about igniting minds, we talk about integration, competencies, feedback, blueprint, lot of these new words which are there. we have been talking about 2 decades about implementing these things. I still know we had many lectures on logbook also in MBBS, but they were never implemented. Okay. Once they were implemented, the initial sparks are always there. When you go for ignition, remember their sparks will be there. Okay. So those initial things were there, but now it is settled down. People are trimming down that 300 long book, logbook to 40 or 30 pages. They have understood the meaning of that. Now we need to sustain that. Okay. Those initial things were quite okay. Those were not incorrect. Okay. Those are the innovations which happen in the process, any process. So now they are settling down to that. So coming out to these mind, all the stakeholders, we will take one by one. We are summarizing till now our interactions with the students, new curriculum batches, old curriculum, various places throughout India. What they say, students, when we ask them, we told them we will not pick up their names, the teachers will not say anything about them. So what they say is, looking at all these, I'm not going into minute details. 2018 batch students said, wish I could have undergone the new CBM curriculum. And recently, last month, HOD of medicine in a medical college said, I wish I could have undergone a curriculum like this. Okay, so that speaks from the learner's point of view. Teacher's point of view, we had initial things. It is very difficult. Why we are changing? Those things are over now. We don't hear those things now. What we hear is, they say, okay, now I need to work more, but I will teach relevant things. This is settling down into that thing now. Okay, they are trying to understand, cutting down on those components, but focusing more on the relevant things in the MBBS. But they have a vast knowledge. They are using that knowledge for the post-graduation. Okay, so that is the distinction which is happening now. So we say, what are the way forward when these challenges are there? Faculty training are doing, many organizations are doing, not only the regulator. Remember your own society, subject societies. Okay, you're planning the workshops. Every subject conference has a medical education sessions now. So medical education is not an independent entity where you keep it separately and they will take care of there. It's a part of all the subjects. So that understanding has developed now. Skill labs, initially we thought in India how people will put so much of money. Now we know there is no dearth of money. They have bought much more than they needed. But now they are realizing they did not invest in training people in the skill labs, but they invested a lot in buying the mannequins. So that part is also over. Now they are focusing on the training. So present challenge is not the infrastructure, but the training and the modules in the skill labs. New schedule timetables, people are adjusted to that. Initially everyone said it's very difficult, why we have to submit and all. Now there's no mandatory part, but they're still making it. That is one example. Okay, many colleges, they could not do away. They say, no, we have to have that schedule. Now they're posting on the websites also, although it's not mandatory, because it is doing well. They have experienced it. Okay, so now there's flexibility, no control over that. Integration in topics between departments, linker cases, every institution we have gone for integration workshop. At the end of the workshop, we got some faculty who will say, I met another faculty of the same institution first time. Okay, because we were watertight compartments. If my department has a best teacher award going on, we will not share with others. Okay, we are the best. So some of those things now are spreading out. People are talking to each other. More structured feedback, which earlier everyone said time constraints will be there. But when they talk to the students, spend 10, 15 times, which earlier they were not spending individual time. Looking at students, few comments, 2 lines after 1 year when they pass, or somebody who really needed the help and you helped, and there's a tagline, you saved him. Okay? You turned him into this part. Okay, I think that has given a motivation to a lot of them. So now they are making it a part of their routine, even when it is not forced into that. Direct observations in assessment is a part. A lot of people got disturbed with 40-60 thing. But remember, everyone is saying 40% theory you can pass. Nobody said with 40% practical you can pass. So it means we are accepting theory assessment is honest, not otherwise. But competency says we should be looking more at what they are doing. It means we have to raise the level in the practical assessment, clinical assessment. We should be observing more and raising the bar in teaching, learning, as well as assessment in the practical part. Okay, so that actually is movement towards going into the competency-based component. And we need not be so rigid. Look at other courses, professional. They usually promote their students. In MBBS, single student is examined by 54 examiners. And still we doubt the competencies. No other course, so many examiners. Single student, 54 examiners. Okay, so that is there. Now number has decreased because you need 2 only, irrespective of number of seats you have. Okay, so that is a change which is there now. So that is based on the feedback from colleges. Our experience with many of the program which we do with the regulators, other organizations, we have a lot of collaborations which are now coming up with the industry also. Education industry collaboration should also be there. If you see their publication houses, they are randomly going for books, other websites, putting material. But if we sort of alienate them, okay, no, you are not good, it is not going to function. Remember that. So earlier we used to say in pharmacology, industry academic collaboration. In education now we say, academy industry collaboration is important. If they are making digital resources, they either should consult you, okay, so that it is in alignment with that. Otherwise we will feel why the videos available on some platforms are better than your lectures. Okay? It's a direct challenge if you see. It's a simple thing. Those videos are also as simple, but why students prefer to see those videos versus when you are there in front of them, 100 students, interactive lectures which we say, why they are not coming there? So it means we need to do something there. Long-term programs. India right now have many long-term programs. 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 8 months, 9 months. Many are getting enrolled. Okay. So our experience of combined of this is it has made a major impact in India. We have a now critical mass of people who drive the curriculum process. Okay. First was at national level, now in every institution. For example, here also, I think now you have a mass, critical mass. Okay. Your pillars also have a lot of other things. I have seen that. Okay. So that critical mass is there. Okay, which are working together in many places. I see you people also going to many places, spreading that. Remember, that is also happening. We are not confined to our institutions only. So long-term programs has ignited lot of sparks which has gone to other institutions, other universities, and even some other countries, which is happening now. So why this is happening? So some of you people who are well trained now, who have experience of 5 years, 10 years, okay, and you are very well aware of these leadership roles which are changing every day and how you are moving on this ladder and how you are taking along with other minds in your institutions who are part of your subject specialty or medical education along with you. So curriculum development, which happened because of this movement, a lot of you are trained. Many articles from India has come up, which are now taking a lead. And this has led to some milestones in India, which we are trying to look in this way that why we are doing whole this process. One is quality improvement. Now you know KYC also is coming up. Those things are also curriculum reforms which are happening. Okay, now we have out standards also coming into that. So that's why there is accreditation by the international body. Okay, it means our standards are now being accepted everywhere. We don't have to modify because we have a number with us. Today, if we open our own accreditation body, we will be the largest one. Remember that. That will be the cause. That's why we are able to get everything right now. So curriculum reforms in a number of publications and guidelines from India right now throughout the world, competency-based curriculum is applicable in 60 to 70% countries. And a lot of data is getting generated from India. So publish, show that what you are doing. Capacity building, which is happening, well-defined career paths people are choosing now. They are going into Department of Medical Education, they're investing more time. But do not leave your parent department because that will be your field to apply all those things which you learned. Okay, so that has to go in parallel. Somehow till now in India, we don't have isolated tracks in education. So incentives, we know many places financial incentive have been added already. Okay, so give honorarium, all those things, performance-based career advancement. Many institutions have added this as an additional See, regulator gives you minimum requirement for promotions. You can always add on to that. So many of them have added those things. Institutions are now getting their rankings, and faculty development programs are there, fortunately. So they are also playing a role there. So, ma'am, this was ma'am's picture last time we met. Okay, so the motivation strategies which are there at the administrative level, okay, and convocations for the faculty. Many of them cried during the convocation. We asked why. It was just a degree. They said, no. During our MBBS or MD, there was no convocation. Many colleges we know also are it will happen 5 years, 6 years. In bad batch, near the COVID before just, we had to cancel. They all cried. We had to reorganize. So much was the pressure. So it means this is a definite motivational factors. There was nothing financial here. Yeah, only this picture, taking them degrees, showing to their families and all. This is a strategy which we must use actually. We know that we must use it that. So this is happening well. Mentoring. A lot of people are there now in India who are mentoring. Many people. Mentoring is going both ways. We don't look at hierarchy now. A lot of juniors can mentor us. In fact, a lot of students mentor us, especially digital things, tools and all. So mentoring goes, so we don't say mentor-mentee, we say mentee-mentee relationship. Okay, in your programs also, a lot of people are with that. And a lot of people ask us, okay, this is a simple thing which is there, the volumes, the competencies, okay, why these are there, okay, why I can't go out of this, should I confine to that? No. In fact, if you look at all this working document of CBME, which is there, all the challenges which are there, you can convert them into opportunities. Okay? So there are a lot of scope for innovations here. You add on, you publish, a lot of publications are needed. But remember, if you are doing something good, convert into scholarship, publish it. Tell others you are doing it. Okay? If you look at other medical education papers from other countries, look at the sample size. We have a huge sample size, even from a single medical college. Okay? So that they won't be able to match. Okay? So, and you know, power study depends on the sample size. We have a lot of things on our side. This whole competency framework, which is there, where competency is, the red thing is defined at national level. Below that, learning method, teaching method, assessment. This flexibility stays with the teachers, universities, and the state. You teach the way you want, you assess the way they want within those limits. Make sure they attain the competencies defined at the national level. It means flexibility. People were saying it has become stricter. We say it is very flexible. It is the way you want to teach, you teach them. They have to achieve competency. Make them achieve the competencies. Remedial measures you have to decide. Universities need to take a call on that. So all these new components, 5 roles, and the new components which are there, they are very well aligned with all the opportunities. Solutions are there. Only thing is we need to just put them into place based on evolving role. Infrastructure is a lot available in India. Cost is coming down for everything. Not me. There was one table. Now there are 2 more companies. Okay, the cost has come down. So that is happening now. Okay, so those things are coming up. More and more people are asking for demands. They are bringing up for that. So faculty development, capacity development, guidelines. Okay, so the first line which you have spoken today, if you want to shine like a sun, okay, first like you need to burn like a sun. Okay, but we need to invest in these guidelines. You can make your own guidelines. You have a university, you have advantage of that. Certain guidelines, remedial measures. That will help because you know better the situations within your institutions. Yeah, so that is very, very helpful. Now, presently, for igniting these minds, there are many opportunities available. All of you are sitting here. If you have not entered into any of the specialized programs, okay, you can think about doing that. 3-day NMC basic course, 1 year NMC, now it is 6 months. Okay, some batches are still into 1 year circle, 2-year FAMER fellowship, 2-day curriculum sport implementation program, masters in health professional education, which is there in some institutions in India, subject specialty conferences, college level programs, so MEU and DOMI, so that can be done. National societies on educations, okay, there are 2-3 now. FAMER groups which are doing individual, apart from regional center, they have made another groups on which they are doing educational components. So right now we have more than 700 colleges, approximately 1 lakh graduates per year. and approximately 96,000 faculties. Remember, we were discussing this question when we were coming here about the quantity and the quality. So we discussed about, okay, we need quantity also, quality also, looking at the number which we have in the population. So those things are needed, quality need to be balanced. So when we set up a number of regulatory meetings, all those things have taken into care, because looking at, for example, one college here, look at another college who is in the periphery, very periphery, where even the patients are not available. Okay, so the needs are very different. The way you might teach are very different. Those components are still there. But still look at the amount of the people who have been trained. Okay, if you just put up together all these things, recent data, which is still to be added to this is already available on the website. Okay, around 80,000 people have been trained. Curriculum implementation, 30,000. More are being added this year. So it will go to 40,000 to 45,000. Okay, nowhere in the world teachers have been trained for the curriculum like this when there is a change. Last curriculum in India, they was posted on the pages. At that time, websites are not so functional. They were sent to the colleges, Graduate Medical Regulation 1997. But we were all not even sure. Even maybe today also, we don't know whether we have seen learning objectives of our subject in 1997 curriculum or not. We were not trained. It was not publicized like that. So looking at our role these days, okay, in medical education, in our departments, students, because we know students also act as leader in certain sessions now, with small group activities. Each one of us need to look at where we stand in this ladder now. Okay? When people are looking at these curriculum changes, it says 60% said that personal position of the change leader is important. You might have seen that. Okay, and we see that, we feel that here. Okay, you have seen all the heads here, how they were passionate about the medical education, and that makes a difference. And you need to be able to match your needs for the change to the values and needs of the people. So remember, it's quite individualized, customized to that institution. Okay? So one type of leadership style might not work in another place to get the same results with the same curriculum. So that is also there. So most frequently cited factors in effective change management is consultation, talking to people, teamwork, need for change is agreed. Means again you will talk. Ownership of the change, that everyone is involved. They don't think you are forcing. They see they are part of it. Use of demonstration, all those projects which you have a constraints of time. Look at people are busy also. So we should not push up so many things. We need to somehow divide this workload. But in all these 7 factors, you will say one major thing is we need to talk to the people. Managing people in the new curriculum is something, if you do well, implementation and sustaining is easier. So most of you might have seen black and mountain grid for relationship and task. Okay, when you know you are very person high in the hierarchy, relationships are very, very important. But on the other hand, you have NMC team standing outside, task is very important. Okay, you won't allow leave to anyone, whosoever it is. Okay, that will also. So relationships are not important. So based on which type of human behavior is depicted at time, okay, people will. And fox is the sharpest. Okay, so that happens. Remember that you might act in these different ways based on the situation. Okay, so you might have to play all these roles. Maybe in the home you play different role. Okay, in your department, different role. With your students, you have a different role. So this keeps on happening in the new curriculum. Managing, talking to these people, understanding their respect, why they are acting like this is very, very important. Okay, sometimes I have seen people on this side also reacting, no, they don't want to implement new curriculum. It is not always like that. We need to understand their perspective, why they are acting like that, and need to address to those issues. So, because of this, what happened, lot of students, feedback has come from all these vibrant activities which you have done in the foundation course. They are very relaxed now. Okay, so we have taught them all those foundation things which they need to develop over 5 years, which will help them throughout the course. For example, even in this foundation, a lot of things were talked about. We had full discussions on the disability, which was added later on. Remember that. Okay, we have a lot of forums and all looking at in India, what is the issue, how this should be added. So right now you will see there, you will find a lot of other countries or foreign authors tool how to manage a change. But I still feel this line, if you take from Dr. A.P.J. Kalam, skilled people, their vision can transform the nation. And they have shown them. They have shown them in their concept, which they implemented. They have a sustaining till now. Okay? That's why we are leading that program, space program. Okay? Medical education, now also we are at the brink that we have to be very careful. We are sort of leading now in that place. We have to gel it together with more and more of evidence, which is publications. Okay? Without publication, nobody actually considered it to be done. So implementation science says stakeholder engagement is very, very important when we are igniting these minds. Implementation strategies, you should think about ABCD. Some people might react, somebody is going to retire in 1 year. You are saying change your strategies. The person will react, whole 29 years I have taught like this, 1 year. You have to be very careful at that stage. It means you don't have to push for those things. Okay? Somebody who is a new entry, who has a long career of 30, 40 years, okay? There you should send them for more training, okay? How they can contribute. Don't think about they will leave your institution after training. A lot of people are saying that. You train somebody in the ACME and FAMR, and there's an interview, 20 people, one is trained ACME, FAMR, that is picked up, because everyone needs that. But that has happened throughout India. Now it is so balanced that it doesn't matter. Okay? People are going here and there, but the value of trained people has increased. So sustaining and maintaining that scale is important. Just you need to identify your stakeholders, access what they need, which you need to monitor, keep satisfied, engage and consult, keep informed. This is very important strategy. Remember that. Most of the conflict scenario happens because we are not able to manage this well. This works everywhere, but right now it's very important when you are at a position of leadership in the new curriculum. So somebody asked me, medical education workshops, when they invite us, they will say we have a meager funds. We will send teachers for lunch home. Okay. Okay. You want flip charts? How many flip chart? How much it will cost? These things still we are getting from very high institutions. We say, okay, we will not be doing workshop till you have a budget like this. We say when you have a 1 hour lecture in a 5-star on any clinical topic, which is done again and again, why we can't have a medical education workshop in such a lavish environment? So recently we had a late evening to night workshop in a state of Assam. This was around 9 p.m. here. Okay, with all things. Remember lunch, dinner was also given. Remember that people come to those 5 stars 1 hour lectures because they feel comfortable there. Why not in the medical education? We say that's a medical education. No, why you need budget? Teachers will come. You ask them, we will send notice. We say, no, nothing like that. Okay, the level has to be same. Medical education is even more important, those subject specialties. So these days we are requesting subject specialty sponsors, subject people, force those people to sponsor medical education workshops. They want some name from the disease or disorder, you can add that. But see, we need to raise that level of training with the comfort level of the people. If they don't feel comfortable, they're not taken well care of, learning doesn't happen. You are sitting in a beautiful hall right now. AC is on. Suppose if AC is off, what will happen? Will you concentrate so much? This affects everyone. This affects everyone. We will talk, you will talk. Okay, see, this happens again and again. So this is important that we, while igniting these minds, make sure sparkles will be there. You should have some pacifiers around in the form of good quality, everything. Even your presentation equipment should be of highest level. Medical education is training other subjects how you should be presenting. So your infrastructure, your equipment should be of highest level, telling them, okay, next level presentations are there. Okay, so they should be leading, following you people. So new curriculum, all of you are very well aware of that. IMG, what it says, what are the titles there. We are looking at a first primary context physicians, which was the vision also of our great president, okay, who was the people's president, people say. So whatever the competencies are written, there is a lot of flexibility here. Okay, a lot of people say we want to teach that also. You have a lot of flexibility in the skill component. You can go for that. Early clinical exposure, you are already changing. A lot of changes there. You are tuning to that. You experience that in a full flow. You are cutting down on that coming. But some people are some of them are so fond of this. They say, okay, we are going with the full thing. Because this is working very well. The feedback from the students. This is another teaching learning method. You want to do it? Please continue with that. Okay. So these are the minimum things which are given, because many colleges who are in the periphery, they say at least give us minimum, which we have to must do. You are more equipped, well equipped, you go for higher things. Okay. So that flexibility is bundled to that. Integration, we know so many issues we got, which method, how to do. Okay. You can also keep it simple. Talk to each other, plan together. Do not go into terminologies many times. But remember, integration is for 4.5 years, not per lecture. So it means you have to select something which is vertical. Okay, all these competencies will develop over years, not with your single session, single lecture. Remember that. Sometimes we are so passionate and we are behind that competencies that in my session of 1, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, I want to make them competent. That will happen over the time. So it means we need to talk more to each others. So the integration planning which you do here should be same, which is already planned throughout the year. And the important thing is students are following your timetables. Frequent change means they will stop following this. So it's a very good tool for you to tell teachers, okay, this is how you organize your learning. We are going as per this and we are continuing with this. Okay, it is not that which happens at many places. On the day of integrations, 3 departments are, no, this is your class, this is your class, this is your class. And somebody comes who doesn't know what is integration. Okay. Skill labs, we have integration, we have collaborations with many people who are supplying in India. We are doing workshops with them, making them also educate that do not just sell the plastic. Some part of the budget, right, when you buy the skill lab should be already allocated for training. Okay, major part we know you spend on mannequins and then after nothing is left when you ask for training. They say, no, you have never budgeted it. So remember 30-40% should be on training only, which is needed. Student doctor learning, many people were struggling, but it starts from year 1. Now their clinical years are, part 1 is well adjusted to that. Other years there was a lot of confusion which is going on. 6 p.m. every day for one case. Okay, so now people have sustained that. We have seen people have conducted a lot of sessions on site with other colleges which are doing well. Or you can take a department who is doing very well, tell them to share it with other departments, but not telling that you are not doing it. Thus, we are sharing the best practices. You need not offend any department saying that you are not doing it. Okay? Feedback you will get from the students, you will be very well aware of where it is done, where it is not done. But in a subtle manner, you try to share those best practices. So other people also will learn, they will see it. When they see from student or when the students say, going from one department to another, that we want to experience that, other department is doing, teachers come back to us. What is this which medicine is doing? We have to do, but we don't know. People are coming, they are accepting. Please do not react anyway that you are not doing, it was to be done. Just say, okay, can we come to your department one day? Okay, and we will discuss about that. In a subtle way, just get these things rolling on. That is the sustaining phase which we have now. Remember, it is already implemented. Electives, people were very enthusiastic. Now the second batch will come. Lot of people have made, I think some adjustments will happen now in sustaining that. Okay, right now, every topic, every title we have taken as elective. So maybe something will be toned down in many medical colleges. At COM, you are very well aware of that. You can shift the responsibilities also now based on the coordinators now. Okay, what are there? But this module is also very much taken well by the students, but only if you are adding questions of ATCOM in each question paper as per regulations, even in the in-house questions. Okay. People are adding in the university, but not in the in-house. But in-house, each question paper should have one question on the ATCOM. Okay. Because it is a part of all of our teaching learning. So that is one component which is there. and modules you are very assessment. Log of performance, what to be put in the log books is a question many people are asking. Logbook will have log of important activities only important activities, not all the activities. So your practical and clinical records, which you were maintaining earlier, should also continue in the departments. So logbook preferably should be one for 1 year, all subjects together. OSCE, if you are doing, you have shifted to that observation-based assessment. This is a good tool which can supplement your assessment. Remember that you have other methods also. This is one of the methods. Some people have totally gone for a single method. Single methods are usually not good. You have to have a mix of methods. So continue doing other good things which you are doing. You can add on that. So formative assessment, structure feedback is coming in a bigger way, where actually the remedial process has to be written down by the university. And it should be given to all the departments that everyone has to follow that, and there won't be any changes in that. So you will be already decided what happens if the student is back. Okay, those are already defined parameters. Right now, there's a lot of effort. Nobody has defined what is attempt. But it has become important because of now limits on the number of attempts. Okay, it keeps on changing with every court case. Okay, so that is the one area where you need to work. Reflections, students are writing. Are you reading or not? Students are writing seriously. All the reflections, they're smiling. Teachers are reading seriously. So maybe we need to ask that questions. Number of students which we have. Are they writing when you are sitting there? You are giving a dedicated time on that day on the formative assessment, or they are writing, or somebody else is writing, okay, or it is reflections of somebody else. That we will come to know only if we read those things. It needs a lot of time. It means some part of assessment you either change to reflections, then it will be more beneficial. Logbooks, we have heard a lot about that. Okay, simple logbooks, 40, 30 pages, okay, 1 year, everything together. Okay, so that can be very useful because this is a single record. People ask who should keep a logbook. It's a property of the student. Okay, at the end of the year, you can have a soft copy or hard copy, photocopy or a soft copy kept in your principal office. Okay, you can make it a mandatory requirement by them to submit. They can submit a PDF of that. So record maintenance will be there, okay, but otherwise this should remain with the students. Okay, that is the definition of logbook. Internal assessment should be meticulously planned, maintained. It's not a confidential document, should be shown to the students whenever they need it, or regularly at 2 to 3 months when they sign. And it is written in the statement, if signing means they know where they stand. So they can't say tomorrow, I am not aware why today I have been detained. Okay, so this documentation is very, very important. Otherwise, it is assumed it has not been done. Okay, so these formulas, everything is already there in a lot of documents. Okay, a lot of documents are available on the website. New normal has already been set up. Okay, 22, 23. Some of the colleges are still continuing with some digital tools. Remember, not online. Online classes are not the part of the teaching now. Digital tools are there. Means in your physical class, you are using some digital tools. Those are very, very important. Students are asking for that. Maybe some resistance from our side or availability. But these are available. Many institutions have gone for these learning management platforms, which are available. And digital tools are incorporated. We are collaborating with some of them to make them more Indian looking. So the OPD scenario which they is right now, they look very Western, even the names, even the photographs. So if you see the skin lesions look very different on the Indian skin. Okay, so they are working to develop more cases so that we have more of these things related to India because the number is huge with us. Okay, so that what we need to have a context, our context programs, digital resources. So sustaining all these challenges will provide you a lot of way forward for that. So during Igniting Minds, be flexible and adaptive. There will always be challenges. View curriculum as an evolutionary process. So I will quote from Dr. Kalam's another quote. Dream, dream, dream. Dream transform into thoughts and thoughts result in action, which we actually have seen. in medical education. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the brilliant oration. I now request Professor Vimla Venkatesh, convener ACME, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sonia Nityanand, Shelly ma'am, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sonia Nityanand, Dr. Vadial, Shelly ma'am, sirs, and the august audience here, some of our retired teachers, Vinita Singh ma'am, a guest, Navveer, coming from RML, and all my faculty here from medical education and otherwise, Professor Abjit, leading the way. Though she has exams a few days away, she sat through here. I thank everyone here for being here, dear students, for being here. Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful and illuminating talk. In the space of just 1 hour, you led us to dream. And we hope we will match those dreams and follow all those lovely implementation sets that you gave us. You not only covered everything about CBME in that really short space, but also told us how to implement, gave us management tips, gave us leadership tips, and gave our students, I think, dreams to build on medical education. Thank you, sir, for that wonderful, wonderful talk. And I think Professor Kalam would have been really proud of your talk. Dr. Kalam would have been really proud of what you have taught us today. It is my pleasant duty, actually, to say a lot of thanks, I think, but I really don't know what more to say, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Sonia, for being here today and actually spending that entire hour with us. From the Department of Medical Education, I know how busy it has been today for you. And the fact that you sat through and ma'am paid attention to every single slide. So I think she's going to make a lot of effort for teaching. From the day she has come to the university, sir, she has said that KGMU has always been known for the quality of teaching. And so she says, I want to take it back to beyond where it was. So more effort from all of us in teaching. Thank you, Vinita ma'am. Thank you for coming back to us and staying throughout and listening to us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sharma, sir, for being here. Sir is again a pioneer for us in medical education. He has led the way here. Thank you, Shelly, ma'am. Thank you, everyone in the audience, for being here with us.
Thank you, ma'am. This concludes today's function. Respected dignitaries and faculty members are requested to join us for high tea at the back of the hall. Thank you for your patience and time. Jai Hind.